is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a chill, kind of laid back type of video today. We're doing Grey Knights versus the current meta. I wanted to do this before going into Nova Open. It's actually coming up in about a week. We leave next Thursday. Today's Thursday, so we leave about a week from now, from the time recording this video. If you guys are new to the channel, appreciate you click on the video. If you guys are playing Grey Knights or getting into Grey Knights, you're kind of getting in at a good time, because hopefully we're going to get a good patch coming out where we get some new shit, free shit, cheaper points. Maybe they bring us hammers. There's a lot of stuff I talked about in my last video where there's some things that they could change about Grey Knights and kind of make them more meta. But right now they're at the very low bottom of the totem pole. You have to kind of play 40 chess every single time you play this army. So it's not like you just put them on the table and then you win the game like other factions. So this video is going to go over the current meta, the armies that I faced recently, the top armies that you're going to see at GTs. Not every single army, because we don't have 2 hours to give, but it's going to be the armies that I've faced personally with Grey Knights, and kind of going over what I've seen, what you can focus on, what you should be focusing on. Hopefully you get some more points in your next battle. So first off, appreciate the Patreons. All you guys, wouldn't be doing this without you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. If you guys are interested in getting in the competitive scene, not just for Grey Knights, but for Chaos Space Marines, Sisters, Custodes, Grey Knights, what other armies? Death Guard. You guys can head over to Patreon, and there's a $10 competitive play where you get to message me anytime, questions, comments, list ideas, tactics, all that stuff. And then Grandmasters, you get video suggestions, battle reports, and also TTS games one-on-one with me. So we kind of go over the first couple turns. So if you guys are interested in that, or if you're already a competitive dirtbag or Grandmaster, make sure you're commenting me or messaging me any single time you want on Discord, so you guys can get your money's worth. But I do appreciate you guys. We've grown so much in the past year. I was just talking to Mike the other day, where last year to the day, we maybe just hit 1,000 subs. We're already close to 5,000. So we've grown so much, and also the Patreon just blew up out of nowhere, so that was super fun. So we plan on growing it even more. So thank you guys. If you guys are going to Nova, definitely come up and say hi. Don't be shy. I have a little limited edition dice. If you walk up and say you're a dirtbag, you'll get a limited dice. So that's pretty cool. This is what's coming up on the channel. So if you guys are on the Discord, I posted this the other day, all these stickers are still available. They're $3 each. If you buy two, get one free. And also the shipping is worldwide, so you just got to pay for shipping, but we usually ship out the dice, stickers. The mats are from 3D6 Wargaming. Just head over to the link below, and you guys can pick out 6 custom play mats for whatever army and color you guys want. And then we got 2 dice left. We have the silver dice and the bright green dice. The rest of them are going to be sold at Nova, but those dice, we still have about 100 left of each. So if you guys are going to get them before they're gone. We're going to be placing another order with different colors coming up very soon. I do have a Codiez and Caldus Assassin proxy 3D print. If you guys are interested in, message me up on Discord. But all that is up on the Discord if you guys want to head over there. So let's get in the video. You guys aren't here for that shit. Let's get in the video. So first off, just obviously the thumbnail kind of explains itself. So all of the top armies that I've been playing are Necrons, any type of Space Marine, Chaos Space Marine, which are just brutal because I play the army as well, and knowing what they have compared to what we have, it's fucking nuts. Custodes, which are just bonkers right now for how cheap they are, and also Eldar. So we'll start off going top all the way to the right. So Necrons, we actually just are posting up a Necron video on Saturday, I believe. So the video is going to be Grey Knights versus Necrons, and the list that he ran is the 2 shield units, which are Lich Guard, and they're just almost unkillable to beat. So there's a lot of mistakes that you'll see in the video, but some things that you could be getting better at. The biggest one is you want to vect the 1 CP res guys. So if he has a unit or 2 units of that, his whole list is basically around resing these guys and not having them die. So he's going to be doing the 1 CP strat where they can bring them back again in the command phase, which is 2d3 if they're within, I think, 6 or 12 inches of that big tall stalker thing. If you can kill that tall stalker thing from range as soon as possible, that's going to be the goal. The side cannon's going into the unit. He's going to have a 3-up save 4 up invuln save, and then a 4 up feel no pain on his 2 cryptech dudes, and then 5 up feel no pain on everybody else, and they're all 2 wounds. So it's just a super tough unit to move. He's got characters in the unit where if you can snipe out the characters, great. But then you can just bring them back for 1 CP. So it's just a solid unit to move. Now, if you tie them up or ignore them, you can start killing all the other chaff in the backfield or around the battlefield. So there's the long range shooting guys, which can teleport the Veil of Darkness once per game. Once they teleport, you can either fall back and kill them, like basically teleport back and kill that unit, which is what it did in the video, or shoot them from afar because they don't have the best saves. And if you get them in the open, you're going to be the -1 AP, so they're going to die pretty easily to our 16 side cannon shots if you're running the Paladins. But back to the Lich Guard, I didn't charge it with my Paladin blob because they have -1 to wound in combat. It might be just innate, so I think innately it's just -1 to wound. So our bolters, toughness 5, are wounding on 6s. So that's why it's also hard for Grey Knights to kill, because we don't have the best firepower. But if you're basically shooting this unit, you want to shoot them and then charge them to try and finish them off in that turn. So again, I didn't charge them with my Paladins because the Paladins are going to ignore that -1 to wound. So they ignore the -1 to wound to the shooting. So you're going to wound them on 3s with the side cannons, and then you're going to wound them on 5s with the storm bolters. So that's one way to shoot them down a little bit. And then when you charge them, you're going to ignore them in melee with the -1 to wound to charge. So your strength 6, their toughness 5. So you're going to be wounding them on 3s, hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s. So that AP2, they're going to go to their invuln save, and then 2 damage, you're going to kill a bunch of them. So that is going to be the goal if you're going to try and take out this unit, is charge a 10-man Paladin blob into them. And that's going to be a good trade, because if you take them off the board, that's one part of his army that he's relying on to stay alive, that if you kill him sooner than later, you're going to hold that whole side of the zone. So that was the biggest thing I noticed playing Necrons, is if you can kill the tall walking guys, he's going to lose the 2d3 bringing guys back. And then if you can shoot and charge in the same turn against the Lich Guard, that's one way to kill them. And most of the time it has to be Paladins, because they ignore the -1 wound. If you're charging them with regular guys, you're going to wound on 4s because of the -1 to wound. So hitting on 3s, I think he has a -1 to hit strat, I'm not sure. And then wounding on 4s, 3s if you're Paladins. So that's the best way that to kill them. There is a Satan that can just fucking fly around. I would try and ignore the Satan. He is very tanky. I think he's got a 4 up feel no pain as well. So 4 up invuln save, 4 up feel no pain, toughness 11. So he's really, really hard to move. Plus he can, every time he moves, he kind of just shunts like we do. So he's going to have to make a 9-inch charge if he shunts. Don't give him a easy 4 or 5-inch charge. Make sure he has to shun and try and make that 9-inch charge. Don't get into combat with him. He has got 3 damage, just fucking killing Paladins like it's his job. And he's got a pretty good gun as well. So that's going to be the main list you see, is this 10, a bunch of shooting units in the back, maybe some snipers that can shoot anytime you deep strike within them, and also 2 big brick units of the shield guard guys. So Necrons, very tough, very good, very solid at this meta currently. And again, if you're going to try and do a shooting match against them, you're going to lose. You have to shoot and then charge and kill them that way. So next, we got the Space Marines. So you guys will notice that Space Marines have the Oaths of the Moment. Oaths of the Moment, they reroll all hits and all wounds. They can even deep strike, teleport a bunch of people around I played Blood Angels one time. He ran a Librarian Dreadnought that on a 2+ can basically teleport somebody across the table, kind of like we do. And then it's the big shotgun guys that have the mortal wounds, I think on 6s. So with Oath of the Moment, it's just so many fucking mortal wounds coming into you. So the only way to stop that is to hide and kill those units before they can kill us. Now, Overwatch, they can put people, not Overwatch, but Oaths of the Moment works with Overwatch, and they can put Oaths of the Moment on units that are in Deep Strike or off the board, which is crazy. So if you teleport in, they can Overwatch you with Oaths of the Moment. So they reroll all hits and all wounds, which is really, really good. So you watch out for that. Now, the guys that can shoot you out of line of sight, they're going to get a lot of hits just because they don't ignore, or they ignore the out of line of sight shoot. Like, it's broken. So they ignore the out of line of sight shooting. So they can hit on 2s or 3s. They're going to shoot forever. Don't let them get line of sight onto you. That's basically the biggest thing. If they get line of sight on you, they're going to delete a 10-man unit. pretty easily because it's really high EP. They have a shit ton of shots, and you're not going to get cover, which also is stupid. So try not to have them get line of sight. Most people are going to play them behind a wall and try not and keep them alive. But if you can deep strike and then charge, through a wall to get to them, that's going to be the goal. So I want to kill that unit as soon as possible. I've rolled it out before, and purifiers do very well into this unit. You just need, obviously, to have line of sight, but I'm talking about when you deep strike your purifier unit down, or if you deep strike them behind the wall, you then move up next turn and then shoot and charge them. The goal is to kill them as soon as possible. If you trade your purifiers for them, it's about equal cost, but we can kill them with the AP1 ignoring cover. So they're going to have 4-up saves, and it's just going to be a shit ton of shots. They're probably going to kill 1 or 2 of them with Overwatch, but then you're going to hit on 2s for free, which is going to be great. And then all the flamers, all the purify flame, all the bolters, everything just going into them is going to be so worth it to do it. Even if you take down like 8 guys in that unit and there's only 2 left, they kind of made up their points. So that's going to be the goal, is to kill those guys as soon as possible, and purifiers do that job amazingly. Everything else, like our side cannons, are going to be -1. They're going to have cover, so our side cannons aren't really going to do too much. So you're either going to have to charge them. I know Drago getting the 6-inch charge with the Terminator squad into that unit is definitely good. That's a good idea. But you want to get them into combat and tied up and killed as soon as possible. So that is the first thing you want to go after if you see that type of thing. I did play the Lion the other day. So the Lion has -1 to wound. Anything that has -1 to wound, -1 damage, any of that stuff, Paladins are still going to be really good with the Grandmaster to come in and just kill that squad a lot easier. Now, Lion's going to be hard to remove by itself, but -1 to wound, you're going to wound 1 5s with our melee weapons instead of 6s. So if you charge in, you can either sustain hits with Terminators with a Grandmaster, but Grandmaster Paladin's better. So you're going to be able to shoot him and not ignore the -1 and ignore the -1 to wound, or charge in and ignore the -1 to wound. So it's basically wounding on 5s instead of 6s, which is a huge difference. So charging in, a shit ton of hits, then wounding on 5s is going to be the goal. So to kill the Lion, you need Paladins. Other than that, Lion's probably going to wreck you because of the lone operative and all that stuff. So I haven't tried purifiers in a Lion. So purifiers are going to be going after the guys that shoot out of line of sight, but if Lion's on the table, Lion's probably going to be deep striking or rapid ingressing wherever your units move. So if purifiers come down and rapid ingresses them, maybe you can shoot the Lion instead. So that's my experience with Space Marines, with Blood Angels, Dark Angels, and regular Space Marines. It's just a shit ton of shots, oaths of the moment, full rerolls, great strats, and they have an army that can reroll or get a free strat once per battle round, just like everybody else besides us. So you got to get used to that. Hopefully we get it back. I don't know if we're ever going to get it. I don't know why I said back. We never fucking had it to begin with. But those are the Space Marines. Any type of Space Marine, it's going to be a tough matchup just because of Oaths of the Moment and all the rerolls. So the 12-inch bubble does not stop, or does stop our teleport assault. So if they have the guys that have the 12-inch bubble can't deep strike, try and kill them as soon as possible. Bring guys down, shoot them first, charge them, whatever you can. You have to kill them because that's going to limit our potential to come within 3 inches, to teleport assault, all that stuff. So if they have the guys that stop you from teleporting, yeah, you have to kill them. You have to kill them, or we're not going to get any secondaries. So they are a bitch. Okay, then we got Chaos. This is going to be fun to talk about. Everything that they have is just tenfold compared to what we have. They have, I talk about the guys on Discord all about this, me and Mike, and they have so many different options. A lot of stuff in that codex is great, is super fun to use. You can basically use anything you think is cool, and it'll most likely do well. Forge Fiends, I think, are the most broken unit in the Chaos Codex for their points cost. You think about 165 points. And it's not just like what they do. If they had nothing to them and it was just the model, no reroll, no nothing, it was just what it is, what it gets, it would be okay. But with the strats, the Dark Pact, Abaddon, everything combined makes it over the top. So it's 165 points. It easily doubles its points every single game. So it's going to kill 300 to 600 points almost every single game. If not, then you're not playing it as you should. Nurgle strat can't be shot outside of 12, so them to even get to you is going to be a fucking hassle. If it's undivided, you're walking on the table edge, spending 1 CP, getting 4 rerolls to hit, 4 rerolls to wound with devastating wounds. So it's those 2 strats alone make it insane. If you have Abaddon around it 6 inches, you're going to get 4 rerolls to hit automatically. And if you're Nurgle, you're exploding on 5s. So you go from, let's say, 3d3 shots. Let's say you roll 5 shots, something low. You get 5 shots going in. You're hitting on probably 3s, but you're exploding on 5s and 6s. So you're just going to fucking reroll everything anyway. So let's say you roll 2 or 3 5s, a 5 and a 6. So you got 2 extra shots. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So now you're up to 8 shots. You reroll all the 3s again to try and get more 5s and 6s. So let's say you miss twice, but you get 3 more 5s and 6s. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're up to 9 shots. So you start at 5, and then you go up to 9 to 11 shots. What? And then it's strength fucking 10, so you're gonna wound on 2s most of the time. If it's tanks, you're gonna wound on 4s or 5s, but you're mainly going against like big Terminator blobs or Pala blobs or whatever it may be. And then you're gonna wound on fucking 2s or 3s with AP 3, devastating wound, 3 damage shots. Holy shit. The Forge Fiend alone is what you have to be scared of with Grey Knights. So Grey Knights going into them, we played Librarians, so 3 Librarians can kill Forge Fiends pretty easily. But if they combine Forge Fiends with a Cursed Cultist, you can't really do too much with the Cursed Cultist, just because there's so many fucking bodies, and they have a 6-up Feel No Pain. Also, if they're by Abaddon can do the 4-up invuln save, but innately, if they're with Dark Commune, they have a 5-up invuln save. So this like 25-man blob unit with 3 wounds on the big guys, 1 wound on the little guys, had a 5-up, 6+ Feel No Pain. Like it's such a hard unit to move. And then if they're near Abbey, they're a 4-up invuln save with a 6-up Feel No Pain. Like it is super annoying. There's just not enough shots going into it. You need basically a 10-man paladin brick with side cannons and a purifier squad with flamers going into it at the same time to really munch it down. And then in the command phase, you're just going to bring guys back and then move up, get the charge off, and just tie you up in combat. We don't have anything to fall back and shoot like they do. They have 1 CP strat that they can fall back and shoot, or fall back, shoot, and charge. So we don't have any of that stuff. So knowing that if you try and tie them up, or they're going to tie you up, they don't really care, because they're just going to spend 1 CP, fall back, shoot, and charge. Or let's say you tie up the Forge Fiend is just going to spend 1 CP, fall back, and shoot the shit out of you. So they have such good strats. They have a Lord that can spend a free stratagem, which they have a 2 CP strat for -1 AP as well. So our AP 1 guns, if they're not in cover, they could do that. Or if they're in combat, our AP 2 goes down to AP 1. So they have really good strats. So if you're going against Chaos, Forge Fiends, you can either just straight up hide from them, like try and hide from them most of the game. I shot 16 or 18 side cannon shots into a Forge Fiend, and I think I did 2 wounds to it. So most of the time they're going to be in cover. So they're going to have a 3-up save. So AP 1, 3-up save, we need 5s to wound. So you're hitting on 2s. I wounded them luckily 7 times, which most of the time I never get that many wounds. Wound him 7 times, he makes 6 saves. So even if he makes 5 saves, I only fucking do 4 wounds to a Forge Fiend. So Forge Fiends are going to be really hard to remove unless you're playing Librarians and just mortal wound them down, or you have another anti-tank unit specifically going against Forge Fiends. I know the Melta Dreads walking in from the side. You come within 12 inches, so that way he can't do the 1 CP strat to not be shot at. So they walk in and just melt it to death. Or the Last Cannon Lane Raiders, you have to be within 12, because again, he's going to save that 1 CP for the Forge Fiend not to be shot at. So it's very hard to get to him from range. And if you get in combat with him, again, we're going to be wounding him on 5s because he's toughness 10, we're strength 6. And then he can spend 1 CP, fall back, and shoot as if it really didn't happen. So really tough. But everything else, you have a Blitz that you can't really hide from because they have once per game that can shoot through stuff. And the Melta profile is just kills almost everything it shoots at. They either run it with Nurgle, so that way the Nurgle can get 4 rerolls exploding 5s with their shots. So it's 4d3 shots, basically 1 per guy, 4d3 shots, hitting on 4s behind the wall, right? But then you get 4 rerolls exploding on 5s and 6s. So again, same thing with the Forge Fiend. They're just going to get a shit ton of shots, wounding on 2s because I think it's strength 12. So wounding on 2s, and then it's AP4, AP3 or AP4, but it's just flat 4 damage. So they don't even have to roll; it's just dead. So Blitz are another thing you're going to see a lot in this edition. It's going to be Forge Fiends, Oblitz, maybe a Cursed Cultist, Abaddon almost every single time, and a Land Raider here and there. Land Raider, you kind of just be like, all right, I'm ignoring the Land Raider because I'm not doing anything to him. But that's going to be the core of the list. My list I'm running for Chaos Space Marines has 3 Cursed Cultists, 2 Forge Fiends, Abaddon, and a bunch of random chaff. So it's going to be just straight up what is good right now that's really hard to deal with. Put it all in a list and go. So Chaos, kind of tough to deal with. I've been playing it a lot, so I know what to kind of focus and stay away from. And that's the shit that you want to try and stay away from. Just play the list. Oh, and they're going to have Cypher. Cypher is going to vect one of our fucking CP strats, which is going to be the get out of dodge, the mist, or the -1 AP. So that also is a kick in the nuts. So if I can kill a Cypher as soon as possible without him proccing it, that would be the goal with the Librarian. But if not, you're going to be fucked for the rest of the game. Custodes. I'm sure all of you guys have faced Custodes. They are a brick for their points. If you've seen a video of Custodes' same point value as Terminators and the difference, it'll just make you mad. Don't watch the video. Just know that they are the same points as our Terminator brick. So 10 of them equals 10 of us, and it's not even comparable. Custodes have strength 7 weapons. We have strength 6. They have 4-up mortal wound save built in. They have a 2-up, 4-up, I think the toughness 6 base. They have 4 rerolls to wound on objectives. They have +1 to wound on objectives against vehicles and monsters. They just have so much shit that we don't have, and they're the same points cost. So if you're going into Custodes, I played Custodes a lot now so far with Grey Knights, and you really just have to focus 1 unit down at a time. If you're seeing bricks, like 2 or 3 10-man bricks of Custodes, you have to really focus fire 1 unit down at a time. Purifiers are really good into Custodes. Yes, they have a 2-up save, but with the -1 ignoring cover helps out so much because they have to roll 3s instead of 2s for the whole game. So a lot of 3s are going to be rolled, and then once all that shit goes through, then you have all the side cannons going in, and then they have to roll 1s, but once they roll 1s, it does 2 damage. So you basically have to focus fire, and then if you get the charge off, if they're on an objective, they're going to have a fight first before you. So remember that they're going to have fight first when you charge in. So if you have them, charge you, which is probably a bad idea, but most of the time you want to stay out of combat. If you can stay out of combat with Custodes and just shoot and move, shoot and move, shoot and move, teleport away, try not to give them easier than a 9-inch charge. And what I mean by that is when you deep strike down, you don't want to come within 9 inches of them unless you have to get points, like for the 3-inch teleport. But if you're coming down, make sure that you're probably more than 9 inches away, maybe 12, just to make sure that your Stormbolters can shoot. And the reason because they can bring a guy back. So let's say I'm coming down within 12 inches, right? So because I'm like, all right, if they move up, I'll just teleport away. Well, here's the thing. They can spend 1 CP, bring a guy back 2 inches forward, and then their base size. So it's almost like a 4-inch move, essentially. So if you're coming down 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 inches, 12 to 13 inches away, then they have to make an 8 or 9-inch charge when they make a guy, if they still have the guys up front available. If not, then they're not going to make that charge anyway. So when you come down, don't be exactly 9 inches away. Try and be like 11, 12 inches away, or even fucking 18 if you can, because you don't care about the bolters, right? So you're just shooting 2-shot bolters instead of 4-shot bolters, which is fine. But the flamers with purifiers have to be within 12 inches. So purifiers 12 inches, paladins just right behind them, shooting from a far distance. Now try and remember that they can bring a guy back, or the shield blade captain can advance and charge. He gets rerolls, I think, to advance and charges, or just advances, but they're going to get fucking to you. They're going to get really quick rolls and get across table if you see the blade guard. If I can kill the blade guard unit first, or be completely opposite of the table from him, That's going to be the goal. So if you're going against Custodes, they don't shoot as well. Like, it's 2 damage shots, but it's only AP 1. So if you're staying in cover, you're going to have a 2-up save. So we're not too fearful of their bolster shots. It's going to be their melee, which is what we're fearful of. If you see the tanks, tie the tanks up in combat, try and kill them in combat. But if you see the guns, try and hide from the tanks, and then either deep strike and charge with Drago or something like that, like we did in the one video, or just try and stay out of line of sight of them the entire time. So tanks try and avoid, but the units, focus fire. That's the biggest thing I noticed is focus fire, move, focus fire, move, focus fire, move. And by that time, that you should have whittled them down so that way you can try and get into combat. I charged, I think it was 2 10-man units of interceptors and a strike unit into 1 man of Custodes, and it took everything for I think about 3 or 4 turns to kill him in melee. So it's just super tough. If they have Vect, which they most likely will, try and kill the assassin. If they're smart, they're just going to put the assassin in deep strike and wait till you do something to Vect it. So if you're playing Custodes, try and have them fuck up with the Caldus assassin and kill the Caldus assassin as soon as possible, or just know that you're going to be vected as soon as possible. So the -1, the Vex Shred, the -1 AP is probably what they're going to be looking at, or the Mist. Those are the best 2 to do for Grey Knights. So you're going to have to face that as well with Custodes, because you're bringing a Caldus assassin, they're bringing a Caldus assassin. The one that we want to vect is probably going to be Fight First. Overwatch you don't really have to care about. Fight First, or what's another good one to full rerolls to wound, I think is automatic, because they have a lot of strats that they can do for free. Most of the time they don't really have CP. They're not bad with CP because most of the shit they do for free anyway. So anything that you think is going to be going against you a lot in the game, in the matchup, is what you're going to be vecting. So most of the time it's probably going to be Fight First. So that way if they do have to spend its 3 CP to Fight First, or if it's 0, they still have to spend 1. So that would be one thing to vect as well. So Custodes, a bitch, but it's doable for Grey Knights. Now, finally, Eldar. We played Eldar about 2 or 3 times this edition. A couple of the times we've had Matt, who's one of the best players in the area. He used to be like #1 back in the day, like for the whole world. But he's running Wraith Knights. I used to run 2 Wraith Guard units and 2 Wraith Knight units, which was just broken. But I run variations of Eldar with the splinter cannons, like the D cannons, and the rifles on the cannon or on the vehicles where they have out of line of sight shooting. They're 2 damage, mortal wounds, rerolls. It's just a insane list. It's very hard to deal with because it's about 4 or 5 tanks that are super quick and they can do mortal wounds out of line of sight. So it's like, what the fuck do we do to deal with that? Is you want to get them in combat as soon as possible. They also bring the Incarn, which can teleport across the table and try and take over your guys, and it doesn't count as an Overwatch or anything, so that way you can charge next turn. So if one of your guys die or one of his guys die, you can basically teleport it and get it out of dodge or get it into combat. So it's a really good scary unit to face. Paladins do pretty well into it. Paladins ignore the -1 damage, so a lot of our damage going into it is still going to be 2 damage. So her having like a 2-up, 4-up, really high toughness. The mortal wound strat, they don't like mortal wounds. So a librarian, 3 librarians are going to kill it pretty easily, or paladins charging into it, doing devastating wounds on the charge is going to be a way to kill it. So you want to try and kill it with the charge, or with the paladin squad. So librarian, charging, or paladin squad all together, it's going to be able to kill the Incarn. And then the D cannons, it's just, what the fuck do you do with out of line of sight automatically getting a 6 for a D cannon? It's super tough. Like, this is probably one of our hardest matchups. They're as quick as us. They have super hard hitting firepower, and their tricks, their phantasm is is really annoying. So Vex is definitely going to be for Phantasm, especially if you're running Wraith Knights. Wraith Knights you can try and hide from. I haven't faced the Wraith Knight with the Paladins yet, but the Paladins are going to be able to ignore the -1 damage going into the Wraith Knight. So the side cannons hopefully able to do some damage. If you get plunging fire, you're going to be able to get up top on the second or third floor and then shoot down into the Wraith Knights. You're going to be AP2. So if it has cover, it has a 3-up save. So being able to roll 3-up saves compared to 2-up save is going to be a huge difference with the plunging fire. So if you can get plunging fire on a Wraith Knight, that's going to be the goal, to try and shoot it with the Paladins. And then spending either 2 CP or use the Grandmaster free strat to not be shot at outside 12. So basically you hop up top, shoot down, you wait for your sigil. He can then shoot your Paladins. You then sigil to safety, and then next turn you pick him back up, put him up on top, shoot down again, and then spend your free strat to not be shot outside 12 inches. And basically you have 2 or 3 turns of shooting this Wraith Knight without being shot back. So that's a kind of little trick with the D cannons, the out of line of sight shooting, as well as the Wraith Knight, is you can use the sigil to your advantage, and then you can use that 2 CP strat to your advantage to not be shot at. So if you have big units, that's going to be a lot easier than a whole bunch of small units getting, you know, one-shotted by these D cannons. So try and get in, like if you're running Draco, come down, charge in, try and kill the D cannon as soon as possible. The Wraith Knight, that's one way to do it. Charging into it in combat, kind of tough. He does have a CP strat where you can fall back and shoot, I believe. But Phantasm is the one that you have to try and stop as soon as possible, because anytime you deep strike, it's just in the fucking movement phase, which is stupid. He could just spend 1 CP from across the table and move this guy 7 inches up, back, you know, all that stuff. So really quick Eldar list. He's got enhancement to bring a leader back. Most of the time they're going to bring the 1 CP strat automatically, or 1 CP, extra 1 CP every single turn. So if we have Codiez, we have a 2+ chance to automatically get a CP back. So if you want to run Codiez is really good into Chaos, into Eldar, any army that gives a CP back, Codiez is really good. So if you want to make a list, if you're going into Eldar a lot, bring Codiez, just so that way you're tying the CP with them. Every time they get a CP, you get a CP. Now the way to stop it is you can use your Purifies to try and kill that CP generator guy as soon as possible. I did it one time where I came down and then he fucking Phantasm behind a wall, which I totally forgot about, and I wasn't able to shoot him. So that's why Phantasm is so fucking good for Eldar, is every time you come down trying to kill somebody, they just move it away. It's like, nope, not anymore, out of line of sight. So got to be careful with where you drop down, and knowing that he's going to just assume Phantasm is going to happen. And then once they do it, got it back to it as soon as possible. So kill that guy as soon as possible, or use it to your advantage, where if you have Codiez, you can try and just keep getting CP every time you get CP. If he's the last model on the table, he's getting 5 extra CP, you should be able to get 5 extra CP as well. So that was Eldar. Now there's a lot of Genestealer Cult. I still haven't faced Genestealer Cult. I still haven't faced Thousand Suns. World Eaters, we're getting a game soon against them, but World Eaters, I haven't faced the new Chaos. So there's a lot of armies still that could be in the top, 10 meta bracket that I still haven't faced going into Nova, which is sad. So we have a wedding coming up, so we have a lot of shit we're planning and try and get done before October. So after the wedding, we're going to LVO, or we're going to honeymoon, obviously, first, but then we're going to LVO. So if you guys are going to LVO, definitely come up and say hi. But LVO will definitely be the first, launching point going into the new edition, really, because everything on BCP, all the stats and stuff, we're kind of still from 9th edition. And then now that 10th edition's out, everybody's still trying to learn the rules, get used to the armies, figure out what's broken, and then kind of, go from there. But hopefully the update helps us out a little bit. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that about these 5 armies that you would suggest helping people out. If you guys want to head over to the Discord, help people out by kind of showing them or telling them what to look out for. And also, if you're curious about lists and stuff like that, Discord definitely helps out with that as well. So if you guys are new, thanks for clicking on the channel. Let me know in the comments below what you liked, what you didn't like, how we can improve. A lot of battle reports are coming up. We're going to be doing some different armies as well besides Grey Knights. So we have Chaos Space Marines coming up. We have Death Guard coming up. And then Custodes, if they don't get touched too bad, we might bring some Custode videos played by me on the channel as well. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video, and we'll see you in another video soon.